What do you think Caroline would say if she saw what you've become? Perhaps I'll ask her when I call her to tell her of your demise.
Whatever happens to me, Caroline's never gonna stop hating you.
The Vampire Diaries did many a character and many a storyline dirty, some dirtier than others. But while there are some characters it feels like the entire fandom acknowledges that they did dirty, see Bonnie Bennett, which you can trust we will be discussing in detail in another video. There are other characters and storylines that it feels like no one could give a less about how dirty they got done. And that for me is Tyler Mother Lockwood, played by fine-ass Michael Trevino. The Vampire Diaries did Tyler dirty as a character overall, but I especially want to bring them up on charges for how they abandoned the Tyler and Caroline relationship without a to give about me and the apparently only other 5 people who invested in their relationship. But don't worry about that, because I remain consistently outraged enough for 1 million people.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
I feel so deeply about this issue that I raised the issue with Candace King herself when she interviewed me on her podcast, Super Bloom. And yes, once again, I am in fact flexing on you.
Okay, first of all, I don't know why I seem to be the only person in this fandom and that like I am upset. Why is nobody but me shit Tyler and Caroline? Why am I the only one that's upset about that? I feel so upset. Listen, I'm so mad. I've been mad for years. Caroline,
That's
like
hilarious.
Ooh, I'm so tired. I'm like, why? Like, you know what I don't like? It's y'all's fault because I think y'all as actors I think y'all did a better job than they wanted y'all to do. Like, clearly they didn't decide that was Endgame, but y'all acted the hell out of that Endgame because I was invested, okay? I was like, I believe y'all, this is Endgame and everything, and then suddenly they moving y'all on. And I was like, we're never gonna get back to this?
That's hilarious. I know it is funny by the end of it, the running joke was that literally Caroline Forbes had like basically had a romantic love interest with almost every single character on the show.
Showed it.
To the point where like there was like when the babies came, it was like, wait, which one can be the father? Because it has to be someone new. And I mean, it was very funny.
Yes.
No, I very rarely get asked about the Tyler and Caroline shipping, which is it's always Caroline and Klaus or Caroline and Stefan. That's what I get asked.
For whatever reason, no one seems to give a about how dirty Tyler got done. Actually, let me don't say for whatever reason, because I know the reason. It was because the show introduced the potential of Klaus and Caroline, and the chemistry between the actors made Tyler even existed. Y'all let Tyler become nobody in hopes that the Vampire Diaries would do right by you and make Klaus and Caroline a thing, but no! They gave you Caroline and Stefan. Caroline co-parents with Alaric and Klaus dead and gone. Y'all said Tyler and Caroline for a relationship that never was, dog. Tyler Lockwood will be avenged, I tell you. So without further ado, here's why Tyler Lockwood deserved better. Roll the theme song, Aaron.
Black independent, strongest in women. It's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay now. I know that I'm worth it, so make sure to listen. It's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay.
You wouldn't know it if you judged it by how the series did him in the end, but at the series outset, Tyler is a main character. When the show begins, Tyler is one of the core members of Elena Gilbert's friend group, although they all think he's a dickhead. Because he is. In the beginning. He's a high school football player. His daddy is the mayor. They got mad money. He looked good. He got anger issues and he liked to fight. All the ingredients of a dickhead make. And he doesn't disappoint. But eventually he comes to find out that he's not just angry as and bugging the out off air. It's because he's actually a werewolf who hadn't yet turned. So that's good news, right?
What? No.
No, not so much. Unlike Twilight, the process of turning into a wolf worse than childbirth here, having to chain themselves up as every bone breaking their fucking body and saying dead excruciating and obviously very scary. But it's that traumatic event that we get the birth of Caroline and Tyler, because despite how incredibly dangerous it was to be around Tyler as he turned for the first time, especially because a werewolf's bite is literally fatal to vampires and Caroline is a vampire, Caroline stayed by Tyler's side the entire night making sure he was good. And at the end of the night, when Tyler was himself again, they kissed.
I really want to thank you. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't been there.
However, However, they don't immediately get together because for absolutely no reason, Caroline was still hung up on boring-ass, irrelevant-ass Matt, who somehow lives to the end of the series. So they become friends and go through a series of unfortunate events that brought them closer and closer together, until Matt dumps Caroline and she and Tyler eventually have sex. And look, I know the Caroline fans live and die for that Klaus and Caroline scene in the woods, but whatever. It's Tyler and Caroline for me. In the words of my big sister, y'all don't know my big sister, but she always says, that was hot. That's how she said, hot. That being said, I ain't gonna lie and say Klaus and Caroline in the woods didn't have me squealing like a schoolgirl. Oh my God, the chemistry. Anyhow, shortly after Tyler and Caroline finally have sex, Caroline's gay father kidnapped and tortured her for being a vampire because he swears it's an abomination because the Vampire Diaries was trying their best to make some very on-the-nose analogy, child. Anyway, so Tyler rescues her and comforts her when she, of course, had a breakdown about her father kidnapping and torturing her. And it's then that they finally decide to be together for real. And I loved them. At the very beginning of the show, despite being in the same friend group, Caroline and Tyler didn't really with each other like that. She thought he was a dick and he thought she was a bitch, all of which was true. But Caroline becoming a vampire and Tyler realizing he was a werewolf was the beginning of both characters becoming significantly different and better people and realizing they were good together. Tyler and Caroline go through all kinds of trials and tribulations together that were mostly resolved, bringing them even closer together, and everything we were seeing indicated that the writers were taking this relationship very seriously. Like Caroline and Tyler were having deep ass moments and were deeply in love as far as we knew. Then the writers just decided, who the is Tyler when there's Klaus Michelson? Like, it wasn't enough for the writers to have Klaus just overshadow Tyler. No. They had to make Tyler Klaus's bitch in every way. Listen, if you don't know who Klaus Michelson is because you've never seen The Vampire Diaries or it's spin off the originals, here is some quick lore that should lead you to watch both shows. In The Vampire Diaries, the original vampires are a family of vampires called the Michelsons. All vampires come from one of them, and as such, they are super powerful, they can't be killed, they call themselves the originals, and they go around terrorizing and ruling over all the other vampires, bullying them by force and things. And the biggest and baddest of them all was Klaus Michelson. And when I say biggest and baddest of them all, let me make you understand. He was so iconic that when he was introduced to the Vampire Diaries, the writers only originally intended that he be around for 4 episodes, before being killed off. But Joseph Morgan ate that roll up so bad, he ended up being on multiple seasons of the Vampire Diaries and getting his own spin-off, the originals. And real fans know the originals went even harder than the Vampire Diaries. Anyhow, enough dick riding Klaus, okay? Back to justice for Tyler. The writers decided Caroline and Tyler because Klaus, an ancient vampire who was thousands of years old and took it upon himself to show up in Mystic Falls and fall in love with 17-year-old Caroline.
Why don't you have a seat right over here for me?
All right, thanks.
Right there on the stool.
But not before first trying to kill her and Tyler, mind you.
Klaus still needs to do the sacrifice, but it's just not for that.
And you think that's why they grabbed us? For the sacrifice? He's going to kill us?
I think so.
Then Klaus makes it his business to start destroying Tyler and Caroline's relationship by trying to destroy Tyler's whole life, okay? Look here. We do not talk enough about how incredible Joseph Morgan's performance was as Klaus to make us love him down despite him genuinely being an evil son of a bitch in a million more ways than one child. Klaus literally turns Tyler into the first hybrid werewolf vampire and sires Tyler to him, basically making him his bitch and his slave. Because you see how dirty Klaus was playing? How is Tyler supposed to compete when you forcing this gal to see him serve you? The shit was so foul, dirty, macking to the extreme.
It's an evil world.
Even when Tyler got freed from the sire bond, he still had to pretend he was sired because Klaus wanted his gal and would kill his the first whiff he wasn't. But Tyler still was trying to do his best.
To pretend I'm sired if I have to. But I'm not gonna hide while he's macking all over you.
Tyler, you do not need to be jealous of Klaus.
I am jealous.
So Tyler's forced to try to break this sire bond, which was really just a convenient way for the writers to make way for Klaus and Caroline. So Tyler's entire storyline becomes this convoluted werewolf mess where he's always trying to free the hybrids or do some bullshit that requires him to leave Mystic Falls. Look here, whenever you look, Tyler leaving Mystic Falls.
Jules and I need to get on the road.
You're leaving again?
I left for a reason, Caroline.
Your explanation must have got lost in the mail.
And I would also argue that Tyler doesn't just get this stupid ass storyline and all the other subsequent bullshit storylines storylines he gets just because the writers are Caroline stans. It's also because this is how werewolf characters always get done in vampire shows. They always get put on bullshit side quests where they gotta go somewhere. Any kind of nonsense to make sure they don't stand in them vampires' way for too long. Twilight did it to Jacob. They sent him on his way. True Blood did it to Alcide. The originals did it to all the werewolves. It's a thing. They always trying to get the wolves out the picture by any bullshit ass means necessary. So I'm sure that would have been Tyler's fate regardless, just off the strength of werewolf discrimination. But it's extra insulting that they believe they were getting Tyler out the way to make way for Klaus, only to not even pair Klaus and Caroline together. They could have at the very least given Caroline and Klaus a relationship, if not make them endgame. But anything to justify doing Tyler dirty here anyway. So Tyler leaves Mystic Falls to head to the mountains to try to break this sire bond so he doesn't have to be a slave to Klaus. And whenever Tyler left Mystic Falls, it was a big ting, okay? Big ting, because I am here to remind y'all once more, Tyler and Caroline was a serious relationship, goddammit.
Care.
Wait, I've been thinking about it, and I've decided that I'm not going to have this conversation again. I can't just sit here while I'm waiting for you to come back.
I don't want that either.
Then stay. Just be the love of my life. Just love me more than you hate him.
I'm sorry, Care. I can't do that.
No, don't you dare walk away from me. I swear to God, Tyler, if you take one more step, we are done. Okay, no more surprises, no more excuses, no more chances. We are done.
You heard that? The love of my life. The last time Tyler returns, he's unsired from Klaus, and he unsired all the other hybrids. So Klaus bites Caroline so she could die from the werewolf bite. And Tyler managed to muscle Klaus into healing her. But then Klaus makes Tyler leave town yet again. Now look, imagine you as Tyler. And when you leave town because a homicidal lunatic hybrid vampire werewolf is desperate to kill and destroy you and everything you love because he love your gal. Imagine that. And your gal sleep with him while you gone.
Get out.
Just let me explain.
No, let me. Klaus killed thousands of people. Elena's aunt, an entire pack of hybrids, my friends. Caroline, he killed my mom.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Just stop.
Klaus kill his mother. Klaus kill. He killed Tyler's mother. He almost killed Caroline. And she grind him. And she still grind him. Lord, look here. Caroline didn't want me speak. So that was pretty much the end of not just Caroline and Tyler, but once they officially break up Caroline and Tyler, that's when the show officially started giving him stupid ass nothing burger storylines I don't care enough to discuss because they matter nil. Just like Tyler ended up not mattering. It's like the writers forgot he was a main character they'd spent time developing because they give him little nonsense side missions for a little bit before he basically just disappears from the show altogether before popping up in the final season only for Damon to kill him in an instant like he was a miscellaneous nothing character.
Damon, wait.
Damon killed him and tossed him in the trunk, and none of the other characters responded like one of their best friends died. The show paid him absolutely no reverence, but we will. Tyler Lockwood deserves so much better. So pour one out for real, okay? Run the song, Aaron.
I really miss my nigga. I really miss my nigga. White people you can sing it to, just change that into a W. Miss my wigger.
Y'all should subscribe to the Patreon. I put, for the people who want to hear me doing all my cursing, we put the uncensored versions of every recap on the Patreon. So do that.